Dragon Quest XI has actually been selling really well.
I didn't really look at what was in the collector's edition. I just saw, collector's edition.
The new version of a game called Dragon Quest 11? Is it 11? Dragon Quest. In Japan, the games are an even bigger success.
And then some people did a thing, and people throughout the world gathered together. Danger! Now the town. This is really educational. Thrilling. You too. Again, how did you feel?
This is the kind of shit that would get me deported.
At the company's U.S. headquarters, they listen to the customers.
All that Dragon Quest shit, them games are outdated, played the fuck out. They may play them dog shit. That's why they sell like shit.
Thrilling. Again, danger.
While series like Final Fantasy have transformed dramatically over time, Dragon Quest tends towards
a sincere passion for palette swap monsters.
This is really educational. Now the town.
Flashback to 1990 whatever. I broke a kid's leg. And one of the games he had was
Dragon. This is what y'all jumping up and down for? Just two fairy shit?
How did you feel?
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of No More Whoppers. My name is Ray Barnholt. Not a bad slime. With me as always. I called him Darkspawn in the last episode, so let's just say the Puff Puff King of the Northeast, Alex Fraioli.
It's a title I have to defend more often than you'd think.
Let's hear about it later.
Okay.
Of course, this is our special episode all about Dragon Quest XI, Echoes of an Elusive Age. You know, I thought about taking one of my special titles from Twitter for the title of this episode, because on Twitter back in the day when it was first announced the game was going to be localized, I made some made-up subtitles based on the usual sorts of English subtitles the series has gone through, but I hadn't picked one yet. So Alex, let's just start off. Let's decide what to title this episode based on my Twitter, okay?
Sure.
So here's what I wrote. How about this one? The Tumescent Tapestry of Time.
It's pretty good.
Dragon Quest XI, A Merry Band of Mirth Makers in the Making.
All right.
You know, as it turned out, as we'll discuss, I think a lot of these turned out to be very, very prescient.
Yeah.
As to how the story actually played out.
That's right.
Okay, how about this one? The Fiery Flight of the Family Phoenix.
Wait, as in like the Phoenix family?
No. I don't think so. I don't know what I was thinking exactly.
Or like a pet, like family dog.
I was thinking, like the airship type of creature you fly on.
No, I know that, but like I'm curious about the function of the word family in like as a description.
I think the family's Phoenix, possessive.
Oh, families. Okay, yeah.
No, I wrote family, but yeah, I did, whatever.
Okay.
Okay, how about Journey of the Journeying Journeyman?
All right, pretty good.
A Lowdown on Lapsed Lineage.
Great.
Dragon Quest XI, The Argument of the Erdrick Armistice.
Wow. Okay. It sounds like a legal case.
Oh, yeah. The Family Phoenix. Dragon Quest XI, The Swiped Sword of a Certain Someone.
You had not played the game before you wrote these, did you?
No, I only had to go on the trailer. It turned out to be the opening cinema. Dragon Quest XI, The Stretching Stairs to the Starlight Steeple.
Fun.
That one was a little bit based on 9.
Right.
Dragon Quest XI, Bit of a Brethren Brouhaha.
No, there's not so much with lineage. Well, I guess there is.
Yeah, a little bit. Dragon Quest XI, The Questionable Curtains in the Inquisitor's Quilt.
That's a Ghibli movie.
Yeah, you're right. That is a bit more Ghibli. Yeah, more of a Ni no Kuni thing. And then finally, Dragon Quest XI, Golem damn near killed him.
I'm disappointed they didn't go with that.
Yeah. You think we should name the episode this, though?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Let's go with that, then. But yes, this is a multi-layered episode, I think, because it's, for one thing, I think it makes a good follow-up to our original Dragon Quest podcast that we did on crunkgames.com years ago, sort of a proto-Nomo-Wo, where you and I basically just discussed what, at the time, the 9 games in the series.
That's right. Wow, that was pre-Nomo-Wo?
Yes, it was. Absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
Just before.
Wow.
Yeah, and then, at the time, we were wondering what Dragon Quest X was going to be. Turned out to be an MMO, and that would have never came out in English, so didn't have much to do there. But then you went ahead and did 10 and 10, which was you exploring that game 10 minutes a day.
Yeah.
But that was during No More Woe, and so, we were also just discussing that game here and there. And now we have No More Whoppers, and so it all comes back full circle, I think.
Yes, it does.
Now is the greatest chance to explore the 11th game in the series. Now that we've both played it, some more than others, you've played like every version pretty much.
Well, hang on. I gotta come clean on this thing. I still have not finished the game because I'm saving that for the English version.
I see.
I've played all the way up to the last boss in the Japanese version. And I sat on that for a few months, and then, the American version's coming out soon. I'll just wait for that, and then that'll be the one that I finish. So I'm saving myself for English and marriage.
That's fine. So you actually haven't defeated that last boss.
No, but for purposes of this conversation, I just spoiled myself. I watched the ending on YouTube, so I'm good to go either way.
Okay, well, I appreciate your sacrifice.
And I have also, I should point out that I was taking the English version very slowly because I wanted to stream it all for 11.11 content, and it turns out Twitch does not want to cooperate with me these days, so 11.11 is on a brief sabbatical until I can figure out what the hell I'm supposed to do.
Well, that's a shame.
Which means I'm going to start playing the game more at a faster pace now because I can play offline, by myself without streaming. But I'm not very far in the English version. It's still just me and Eric.
Okay. But
yeah, all my conversation is going to be coming from the perspective of the Japanese version, so I might need some assistance with your newly localized names and such.
Hey, I might need some assistance too to figure out things that may have changed in the English version.
Really? Well, I can already name one. Guess what it is? The game is in England. No.
The devil's tongue.
For some reason, they replaced the jump sound effect.
Yes, you mentioned this too.
Yeah, in the Japanese version, it's a cute little anime jumping noise, and in the English version, it's just blow.
More mature.
Yeah, yes, it's a more mature jump.
Yeah, exactly. For refined gamers such as ourselves.
Right.
But yes, as you implied, this is basically a spoiler cast, and we will be talking about every bit that we can about the game from front to back. So if you are listening and you intend to finish Dragon Quest XI at some point and you haven't, please don't really listen to this at all. Okay. So, with that all that out of the way, Alex.
Hi.
Let's just open with some general thoughts, right? Because I finished the game, you've basically finished the game. And we did touch on some stuff on No More Whoppers, but we can recover some of it. I don't know. Do you want to start? Should I start?
You start. I want this to be your show. I'm here to react to you.
Okay. Well, I mean, why?
Because
why would you do that?
Because here's why. Because Dragon Quest is a thing that I've talked about so many times now. Okay. I don't know where to start because I just assume that everybody already knows the same shit that I know. That's why I'm bad at doing things like this is I make assumptions about what the audience is already aware of. And so I either cover things that don't need to be covered or I don't cover things that do need to be covered. So I will follow your lead.
Okay. Well, for the record, I have invited you on here for a reason. And
okay, what's that?
You are that expert that talks about it a lot.
Well, that's why I'm saying I'm just tell me what to talk about and I'll do it.
Okay, fine, whatever. That's good. That's fine.
Okay.
Like I said, I think in general, Dragon Quest XI is kind of a good iteration on the sort of presentation that Dragon Quest VIII established, because that was very much like a big deal as far as the graphics and presentation and the size of the world and stuff, coming from 7 at least at the time.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't think it's really as much of a bold step as 8 or 9 or even 10 were, as far as the Dragon Quest series goes. And I'm not exactly sure how to feel about that. I mean, I had enough fun with the game. It just did not like grab me as much as like 8 or 9 did. I don't know.
You're talking about 11?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's see, I'm totally okay with the fact that it just looks like a prettier 8 because I thought 8 was beautiful to begin with on the PS2. And so this is great. Look, it's PS4 and 8. And like that's Dragon Quest, you know, it's a traditional thing, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think in some ways it did help Square Enix when they were, you know, marketing it to this side of the country world, because the last big push for Dragon Quest, I think, was 8 by Square Enix anyway. I mean, Nintendo did a good job marketing 9, but that's kind of didn't take.
Oh, yes. You mean what you say? Did you have a problem with those Seth Green commercials?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not sure that really did much. I don't think it helped. I don't think it hurt. But, I mean, come on. Seth Green is no SMAP.
Yeah, that's true.
SMAP, of course, he did the 9 commercials in Japan.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, but you know, 8, like I said, 8 established the big, bold, sort of big budget presentation. 9 went to this kind of multiplayer focused-ish, you know, let's share all our stuff across the country sort of thing. And that became... And it was portable, so like the whole country was like probably twice as insane about it. I am speaking, of course, Japan, the country.
Oh yes, of course. I want to point out something interesting is that when 8, by the time 8 came around, I really felt that there was like a Dragon Quest drought because of course they had kind of given up on Dragon Warrior after 7.
Yeah, exactly.
In America. Although I think there was a Torneko game around that time as well.
I think the Torneko game came out first before it.
Okay.
And then, you know, the Game Boy ones. They basically released all the Game Boy ones.
Yeah. But like the gap in America between 7 and 8 was only 4 years, which really isn't too long.
No.
Compared to the gap between 8 and 11, which was 13 years, which yeah. But yeah, it's like as you said, we had 9 on the DS, and then we didn't have 10. So like in terms of offline console, sit on your couch, Quest at home, DQ. Yeah, that gap between 8 and 10 was a pretty big one for me, and it's not something I even realized because I always get my Dragon Quest fix in other ways.
Yeah,
but I do miss that experience. Like this is an experience I haven't had since my junior year of college, when all I was pretty much doing was staying at home playing FF11, eating pizza, and not studying.
Yeah.
So it was nice to have that little DQ injection.
Exactly. You sound like someone who's just cut coffee. It's like, I get my fix in other ways. I drink some nice green tea.
Heroin.
Yeah. Yeah, not much to add to that. I think it's pretty good. I mean, again, like I said, it was good. It's a good game to reintroduce to the West. I think 11 is because of that big budget presentation.
Yeah.
And
I still what's that?
And they even went so far as to port it to PC.
Yes.
Just for us, basically. It was on Steam, and that's crazy to have like a Dragon Quest game on PC.
Yeah.
Technically, you could say that the old MSX versions were PC versions, but
you could.
Yeah. Oh, and 10 is on PC.
That's right. Yeah,
but even that's a bit of a that's a stretch because like 10 is also on everything now.
Yeah.
I mean, you stream it to your 3DS even, so
yeah,
it's ridiculous. But they did a good job with the PC port in a world where it's really kind of dicey to expect Japanese companies to ever do good PC ports. I mean, there's like a couple of them that finally recognize that, oh yeah, that's a market we should reach out to and do good products for. Square Enix sometimes not so much. So, yeah.
Because for the longest time, Japanese developers sort of saw PC as the platform of piracy, right?
I think it's a few things. It might be piracy. It might just be a general sort of niche because PC gaming is not a huge thing in Japan to begin with. It's usually the domain of hentai games.
Yep.
And people who also like other MMOs that they can't play on consoles and such. So, and just probably like super weirdos who are into Counter-Strike.
Oh no.
They had to make like Counter-Strike arcade games to get that into that country.
Counter-Strike, no.
But also like the game was made with Unreal Engine, which is a multi-platform engine, so they can, they develop it on PC and run it on PCs anyway, so it's not that hard to basically publish a PC version from there. So I mean that just made sense, I guess, and people now, a lot of people in the West, and basically all over the world, are on PCs, on Steam, so they'll play pretty much everything that they can get their hands on. So, of course, people would probably be into Dragon Quest. I know I was. In fact, I bought it on PC just so I can get that sweet, sweet high frame rate.
Personal computer.
That's right.
Now, let's not forget, there is also a 3DS version that the West did not get.
Yeah. I certainly haven't played it. I know you have.
I have not, actually. I bought it with the PS4 version, but I lent it to my friend Matt, who still has it to this day. But I think once I get it back and once I finish the game in English on the PS4, I'm going to try out the 3DS version, because it looks it's from what I've seen, it's obviously a lot more chibi. Matt was watching me play the PS4 version, and he's like, "This is so weird. Look how tall everybody is, except for Veronica, because in the 3DS version, everyone's the same height."
Yeah, in case people have forgotten or just don't know, the 3DS version is both like, it's a more cartoonish version of the same exact game, but it also runs a 16-bit looking version of the game on the bottom screen.
Oh yeah.
So you're basically getting two games in one. With the same exact plot and dialogue as the PS4 PC version.
Yeah. And I think I brought this up when the game first came out over a year ago, but they brought back the spell of restoration.
Which is a password.
Yes, yeah. So in Japan, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 had a password system instead of a save system. This is a thing I literally wrote the wiki entry about on not on Wikipedia, but on one of the Dragon Quest wikis.
Citation needed.
I'm right here. Fraioli needed. It was just a password system. It was your basic ass password. It was your equipment and your level and your gold and all the plot flags that you had set. But for this one, it's used to because there's no cloud saving. There's no way to transfer a save from 3DS to PS4 and vice versa. So they use this password system. The only problem is it does not transfer your save over, perfectly like byte for byte. It's a vague approximation of where you are in the story.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's you go to either version and you say, "Hey, give me a spell of restoration," and it spits one out at you. And if you plug it into the other version, it starts you. It remembers all your plot flags, but it just kind of gives you weapons and gold and equipment that it thinks you would have if you were there. Yeah,
yeah, that's interesting.
It's weird.
Yeah, but it's also like it's very. They kind of made a dicey situation to begin with because it's on two different platforms from competing companies. So they I know they can't quite mention. They can't say PlayStation 4 in the 3DS version, so it's just
right.
They have to walk around it and say, "In the spell of restoration for you know what."
But couldn't they have done a cloud system on the Square Enix side?
Yeah, they could have, but didn't.
Yeah. All right, fun.
No, I think it's just because maybe the 3DS does not have a great sort of online infrastructure, really.
Yeah.
It had Miiverse for a little bit, but they got rid of that.
Oh, boy.
And, all it has is basically the eShop, and that's about it. So they probably didn't want to bother. And it was probably more fun and nostalgic to have the password.
Is eShop short for electronic shop?
Yes.
Cool.
You get a special reward. You get a mini medal for that.
This is okay. This is a cookie, but thank you.
I did want to ask something of you that I know the English version has, which is the Draconian Quest settings.
Oh, yes.
Is that in the Japanese version? Like the things that, for the audience, let me just explain. The things that make the game like super challenging, if you wish to have them.
It's been a while since I started up a new game on the Japanese version, but I think so.
Okay, yeah.
I think they did include those.
Yeah, for people who might complain a bit too much about how the game is perhaps too easy.
Yeah. Don't worry. You can make it hard.
Yeah. I would say in general that, I did not have to really grind a whole lot. There was a point during the final boss where I forgot to do the thing that makes the final boss much easier, so I went through a couple of attempts just like, well, fuck this, and then I just leveled everybody up like 15 or 20 levels, and still kept losing until I finally looked up. Oh yeah, I have to use the Sword of Light to weaken him. Okay, that's good.
Hey Ray, guess what?
What now?
I just realized why I was having so much trouble on that boss. I did not know I was supposed to do that.
Well.
Wow. This is, oh my god! Like for a whole year, I've been despondent about this. This is like the Hulk getting his ass beat down in the opening to Infinity War, and then he like can't turn into the Hulk anymore.
Ray, I'm literally rattled and panicked.
I am. I felt like I lost my GQ touch when I couldn't even beat a boss.
God, come on! You were supposed to believe in yourself. You were supposed to, first of all, pay attention to the plot, which I did not do at first, of course. But
I was too focused on dual wielding hero swords from two different timelines that I got too caught up in looking cool.
You were like, I'll bet this will get him.
Yeah, I got two Loto swords. Go fuck yourself, Space King. Yeah, well, that's fun. Maybe I'll do that tonight because the Japanese version is still at the bar.
Yeah, well, so there's a spoiler tip for the listeners. Just use the Sword of Light as an item, and then it will basically remove his bullshit layer, and then you can wail on him as much as you want.
Oh, thank God.
And finally finish the game.
Yay! Oh, boy.
Okay. So, of course, one thing the Japanese version originally did not have was voice acting. Same situation with Dragon Quest VIII back in the day, of course. But now they did add a bunch of English voice acting for the English version. And boy, it's like a too much acting. Yeah. You know, I really appreciate it. They really did a good job. Some of the actors were really good. But boy, you know, after a bit, I just felt bad skipping voices so much because there were so many slow text boxes. And they really took their time. They really chewed into the dialogue. But, I kind of felt bad after a while. But I think also... just let me finish my point, which is that...
Okay.
I do also am aware that Dragon Quest is kind of for kids. So if you can't read, it's probably a gas. You have all that nice voice acting around. But for adults, it's like, okay, can I just go already? I've read it. Anyway,
I will say that Mike Watson helped me place this accent, but I can't remember where it's from. Gemma's accent, yes. Gemma's a real cutie patootie. Her accent is just adorable.
Right. I mean, the opening village, Cobblestone, is pretty much all kind of like Irish.
Yeah, but hers is like Irish via London. It's I don't know.
Really? Okay. So how did Mike put it?
He said like a cross between was it Cornish? Or no, maybe he said it was Cornish. Or it's similar to Cornish.
All right.
And I love it. It's just it's beautiful.
What if I take a tumble and do myself a mischief?
Is Mike Cornish?
Yes, he's a game hen.
I guess you could say that kind of like an Irish hayseed.
Yeah.
Is basically what all the Cobblestone people are like, including Gemma.
But yeah, so usually when you come across this phenomenon in games of people speaking their lines painfully slowly, you also experience the opposite phenomenon of saying lines incredibly fast.
Yes.
Because a lot of the time, the English voice cast has to work within the time constraints of whatever the Japanese line was.
Yeah. Like literally the
case,
audio file duration is
Yeah.
unchanged, or else the game will crash. That kind of like old school kind of thinking.
Right. But in this case, what is the excuse? Because there was no voice acting in the Japanese version.
I think the excuse is they wanted to do a good job and do the best acting job they could. So you have a voice director who is just like reading it as accurately as they could, and they have all this time and space to do whatever they want.
But when you use those words, to describe what they want to do, and in my definition of a good voice production does not include the word painfully slow.
I think of a lot of it. I think what the key sort of action in a lot of the acting is that characters take a realistic amount of time to think for, to reveal the plot elements that everybody guessed like hours ago.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. Oh, yes, he was the bad guy. Like, no shit. It's like a Scooby-Doo episode, some of these plot lines are,
Yeah.
Which is why, again, I say it's obviously for kids. Kids can probably appreciate it a bit more, or at least be tolerant of it, but yeah. For us grizzled old 30-plus Dragon Quest fans, yeah, no.
I mean, there were still plot elements that I was pleasantly surprised by, like the sort of epilogue of the game to get the real ending, where you gotta go like back to an alternate timeline and convince your friends that bad shit's gonna happen. Like, I like that a lot. I was not expecting that. Anytime Dragon Quest can work in time travel or like alternate timelines, I'm totally on board. I love that kind of thing.
Yeah, that was pretty much a nice Star Trek element.
Yeah.
Let's just jump back in time a little bit to try and stop this shit from happening.
Yeah.
But then it turns out, no, there's more shit. They had your number this whole time.
They did. 11.
Maybe we can touch on the ending a little bit later, because I just want to say, despite all the acting quirks and problems and issues that we may have, the voices themselves are good. I do like Rab's voice, Scottish.
Oh, I'm not even there yet. Okay.
Scottish grandpa voice.
Nice.
Who, especially some of his battle lines, because when he yells stuff like, I'm not going to try and do a Scottish accent, but I'll just be like, when he says like, surrender your soul, it's just like, wow, it's like Scrooge McDuck is really.
That sounded more like Danny DeVito, but okay.
Sure. With a tinge of Scott. But yeah, it's like, God, it's like a really malicious Scrooge McDuck.
Oh, wow, that's okay. Yeah. I'm on board with that.
Yeah, so when you get to him, pay attention to some of his battle lines and be like, wow.
Okay. Does Jade have an accent?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, where's she from?
Britain. I mean...
Foreign country.
Yeah. Across the pond.
Okay.
I mean, it's fittingly sort of like a royal British accent, right? I mean,
she's a princess, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Real quick, I want to confirm the name changes here, because a lot of the names were changed to protect the innocent from the Japanese version.
So now you're revealing their names?
Yes.
Don't get them doxxed.
Witness protection programs hate him. Okay. In the Japanese version, Eric was Kamyu.
Yeah.
As in Kamyu tits.
Or like Camus, right? It's like literary.
It's spelled as Camus, yeah, but it's pronounced Kamyu.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it's a name that is reused a lot in Japanese stories and media. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Wow, that's a great Japanese pun I just thought of. Is maybe because they reuse so much content, and dragon in Japanese is Ryu. Get it? All right, I'll be here for another hour or so.
All right, I still like Kamyu tits.
That's the episode title. So Jade is Martina.
Yes.
I believe.
Which reminds me of Bartina. Oh, Bartina.
Rab is Ro or Lo. I always called him Lo.
Oh, like salmon.
Like, yes. It's salmon, you idiot, not salmon.
Spread them on a bagel.
And who else do we got here?
Serena?
Sorry, I missed what you said. Oh, yeah, Serena is Senya in Japanese.
Not too far.
Yeah, and we're going full out spoilers, right? So
yes.
What's his name? Hendrik?
Yeah.
Is Greg in Japanese.
Greg, of course, a name that most people mistake my name for when I mumble it out a lot of the time.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that's
Greg
fun.
Barnholt. Oh, and Silvando is Sylvia. And
a bit too telling of a name there.
Yeah, I believe that's it.
No, the other sister. Veronica.
Oh, no, we did
in English.
I touched on that already.
Did
Yes.
you? Say
You're
it again.
editing it. You listen.
No.
Veronica.
Okay. I don't think
Am I saying that right? We did. Oh, my God, we did.
Okay, just calm your tits.
I mean, Skype... I can't. I mean, Skype has been acting up lately. I between the last episode and I recently did a fun little side project with our good friend Connor Mahood, and there was a period of like 5 minutes where just I could not hear him.
Holy shit!
There was our thing last episode where like you were talking and I thought that you were just completely icing me for 2.5 minutes. So yeah,
as opposed to actually icing you, yeah.
Yes, which also happens from time to time.
Between that and Twitch,
I know
you're having trouble.
I know.
You tried rebooting your modem.
That's a good idea. I think I should do that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Anything else
Case
about
closed.
voices or names? The hero, of course, is whoever you want him to be.
That's right. So yes, somebody asked me this yesterday, and I could not answer because I did not know. But in Dragon Quest III, as you all know,
of course, you wouldn't know at this point.
Once you finish the game, the king confers to you the title of Loto, which basically means hero. So because of that, when you start a new game of DQ3 and if you enter your name as Loto, the game gives you an error message and says, no, enter your name. So I'm wondering, does DQ11 do anything like that? Because I don't know. Because I don't know.
I didn't try it. I did think about it for a fleeting moment, but I'd have to fire it up again.
Okay. And as I noticed, we both insist on spelling Nomo in different ways.
Yeah, well, I don't really want to do that this episode where we hash this out because we've had enough verbal arguments.
What better time to hash it out?
Jeopardize our relationship.
Yeah, that's...
Well, yeah, you might think it's the best time, but, I don't know. It might take up too much of the show.
All right, fine.
But basically, I'm right. Yes, I am right.
Hey, no! I hate you, Greg. Oh, great.
Greg Hendrik Barnholt, thank you very much.
But yeah, I find myself also skipping a lot of the voices as I go.
Yeah, it's...
Except for Eric. I love his voice.
Right, Eric's sort of weird Scandinavian-ish voice.
Yeah. It's pretty great.
I know people were playing the game when it first came out here, and it's just like, weirded out by his voice, and it's just like, well, he spells his name in sort of that Swedish way, that Norwegian Eric way. I know I'm combining countries, but bear with me. It's just like I kind of get why they went that direction. It's not that bad. I mean, for a game that apparently delights in its various European stereotypes, like, for so many games now, why not just add some, Scandinavian in there and go for it.
I mean, if you want weird accents, go play DQ4 on the DS.
Yeah. And as it turns out, he is from the Snow Town.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, he's from Edward Snowden.
I believe it's something else in English.
Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, wait. What is it? What is It's like it's a pun, of course. But I forget.
It is a pun, of course. It's Sniffleheim.
Sniffleheim.
Because you get the sniffles.
In the Japanese version, they all just have like boring ass kingdom names that are not puns, which is weird. It's weird that since pretty much since DQ8, the English versions have had way more puns and wordplay than the Japanese versions, and that was always the Japanese version's thing.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense also because, again, this is kind of a cartoony series compared to Final Fantasy and more appealing to kids probably. So, of course, they're going to be a little bit goofy, which is fine. it doesn't bug me as much as it did.
It doesn't bug me either, but it does seem like back when they were doing 8, the localization team was like, well, what do we know about Dragon Quest? Well, they like puns and wordplay, and then they just went like completely overboard on it because they think that's like, well, that's the defining characteristic. Now everything has to be that way.
Yeah. So the same localization director went to work on the Ni no Kuni series, which is also just a pun fest of epic proportions. Both those games.
Of Eric proportions.
Oh. His name is Richard.
Oh. Oh, is that, wait, Richard...
Sniffleheim.
Fuck. Thank you, there we go.
The Japanese version isn't too big on, they can't really do a whole lot of different dialects as much as they can in English, but visually they have all these areas that are basically based on different parts of the world / Europe mostly. I did also mention on Twitter once that this game takes a record amount of time to reach the Italian stereotype kingdom, where in other games it would be like 30 or some hours. I'm basing this based on playing 7 most recently, where it takes a long time to get to the Italian town, but in Dragon Quest XI it's like 11 or 12 hours.
Wait, which town do they make the Italian town in this one?
Is it Gondolia?
Oh fuck, I don't know where that is.
You're not there yet.
I love the name though. The name's pretty good.
Yes.
Wait, is it shit.
It's the one with the gondola.
Oh, thanks. Oh yeah, that's the port town?
Yeah.
It's a long boy. Right.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that also a dialect?
It is now.
Is that what you call him in Ohio?
Yeah. Okay. Gondolia. I like that.
What kind of sandwich is it?
It's a lot of bread.
There's the Middle Eastern one, Gallipolis.
Okay.
Which doesn't really refer to the Middle East necessarily. It's just it's the town. It's the kingdom where they do horse races, so that's why they named it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for Gallop, I get it.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
That word on the back of the cars in Daytona.
We're all learning something today.
Exactly.
What's the name of... What did they go with for the Hero's Kingdom?
You mean Cobblestone?
No. Like his actual... Like where he's really from.
Heliodor, right? Yeah.
No, that's the second town.
What the hell are you talking about?
Where Rab used to be the king of.
Oh, God. Dundrazil.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's right. Okay, it's a combination of Dunedain and Yggdrasil. I don't know.
I mean, you're probably right. I
Cool.
couldn't guess at this point. I don't know. I'm not learned.
Learned, Peppy. It's pronounced learned.
That's also a town in Dragon Quest. It's basically Silvando.
Yeah.
Silvando, who I thought was Italian at first, but no, he's more Spanish.
Yeah. I'm very curious about how they handled the localization for Silvando, because the Japanese version, he is just gay as the day is long and campy as hell. When you first get into Gondolia... No, not Gondolia. The fishing village. What do they call the fishing village in this one?
Jesus Christ. It was right on the tip of my tongue because I just mentioned it. Jesus Christ.
In the Japanese version, he basically says something to the equivalent of...
Sorry.
What?
Puerto Valor.
Thank you. In the Japanese version, he says something to the equivalent of, where are all the cute sailors?
Okay.
He refers to literally every character with the honorific Chan, even referring to the antagonist as Dark Lord Chan. So I'm really curious how they handled his localization in English.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you this much. He is still as gay as the day is long.
Okay.
But he's not too obvious in, like, asking about cute sailors or anything like that.
Okay, all right.
You don't, I mean, it's all dealt very, like, yeah, he's gay, so what? And the Chan stuff is replaced by calling people honey a lot.
Oh, okay. See, I like that. I'm fine with that.
That kind of stuff.
All right. Love it.
But yeah, I like the fact that no one really no one working on the game's localization or the characters themselves really call attention to any part of Sylvando's lifestyle, let's say.
Yeah.
Which is great. Just let him act the way he does, and they just sort of like roll their eyes at him. It's like, oh, that's our Sylvando. And then the hero gets in on it when you don the costume and you do the marching along. And
yes, I love that so much.
I think I wore that a bit longer than the game expected me to.
That's impossible.
Which, well, it kind of makes the game a bit inconvenient because you can't dash in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's another thing that was
you're basically
added
just
for
like, can't stop doing the monkey.
That's another thing that was added for the overseas release is the ability to dash.
Right. Yeah. Which is nice, except they did sort of balance it out by, not being able to turn too tightly when you're dashing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you take these really wide turns, so you can't really control as well as you would be while walking or jogging. Yeah. It is nice because they do have the horse. The horse is in the Japanese version, and the horse is still faster than dashing. But for like getting around town where the horse can't go, the dash is pretty welcome. So that's a good thing to have in the English version.
Yeah.
That's a localization choice, right?
I like that.
Localize these buttons.
Yeah.
Well, anything else on that topic, I wonder?
I don't have anything, no.
All right. I'm sure we'll come up with some more as we discuss farther in the game.
Of course.
Well, it's been a good 40 minutes or so on our recording. You want to take a break?
Yes, let's do that. We got to talk about our sponsor, Lisa Mattresses.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Folks, we're back. It's No More Whoppers, episode something. Golem damn near killed him.
Good day, mate.
I'm Ray. That's Alex Chan.
Hi, Des.
I was referring to Sylvando again. So.
Oh, thank you, honey.
Let's talk about something that seems to be on everybody's tongue about Dragon Quest XI.
The election. Oh. Sorry.
Vote Lodo.
Hey, Beardo, vote Lodo.
4 more years. That is the music, and a lot of people seem to have not played a Dragon Quest game in some time and were very taken aback by the dinkiness of the soundtrack.
Yeah. Yeah.
You and I think, are a little bit more tolerant, or at least steeled for what this soundtrack became.
Yes.
Basically, I think there was a natural assumption that it would have an orchestrated score because the English version of 8 did, but it turned out to just use the same sort of MIDI-style soundtrack that the Japanese version of 11 does.
Right.
Which did not go well.
No, it's
many
unfortunate. Yeah, it's unfortunate because in orchestral recording does exist.
Yes.
That's how they did it with DQ8 is they just took that album.
Took the CD, yeah.
Yeah, and they just put it in the game.
Yeah.
And it sounds great.
Yeah.
Mostly. The acoustics are a little weird on 8. They're a little echoey for my taste.
Yeah.
But 11, there is a PC mod. If you're playing on the PC, you can take that orchestrated OST and put it into the game.
Right.
But yeah, what the fuck? So the music rights are owned by composer Koichi Sugiyama, and I guess in his old cranky age, he is less and less willing to let them use his orchestrated arrangements in the game itself. So, the thing he wrote the music for?
Yeah, it's very strange. So he has his own imprint label.
Yes, it's called Old Man Inc.
Okay, no, it's called Sugi Label.
That's right.
Which is an imprint of King Records. So you have basically those arrangements tied up by that company, also performed by an orchestra who apparently needs to be credited all the time, as in the opening intro.
I believe he always uses the Tokyo Philharmonic.
Yeah, of course. Are there any other ones?
There's certainly, if there's a Nagoya Philharmonic, I don't know about it.
Yes. It's two guys in a mess hall.
One's got a trumpet and one's got a talk boy.
Visit beautiful Nagoya. Tell him Alex sent you.
Alex sent me.
So yeah, this time they were not as forthcoming with the orchestral version of the music.
Yeah.
So what we get is a very weird arrangement that doesn't really sound like an orchestration at all. I don't know what it was made with, aside from a Casio, but yeah. This is my main problem with it that I mentioned before, is that I don't think the soundtracks to Dragon Quest games have really all been that good since 8.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think 8 was the last really, really good one.
Sugiyama just slipped and slipped as he got older
here's
and older.
the thing. Yeah, he is like 91, 92 years old. Like, he's a very old man.
He is done. He is physically done.
He is done. And I believe I mentioned this on No More Whoppers before, but so when DQ9 came out, I thought the soundtrack was fine. There was some good tracks on there. I liked the new overture he came up with for 9.
Sure.
And then when 10 came out, I noticed that it was a lot of retreads. There were very, very few new compositions, and I'm like, well, it's an MMO. I mean, they're trying to reflect on the series as a whole. So that's
you would have new content in the future. So
right.
Maybe you can't push him to make new stuff all the time for it.
Yeah, and then but then DQ11 comes out, and there's also a lot of songs that are reused, and I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah,
this is supposed to be like a new offline experience.
I mean, to play marketer's advocate, I mean, the fact that 11 has so much nostalgic layers to it, in terms of marketing and the story, as it would turn out, like, I guess it makes sense to have a lot of retreads, but it's also like, you can make some new music.
Yeah.
And have it not be too bad.
Yeah.
People, I think everyone has their least favorite song from this soundtrack. Mine is definitely the Overworld.
I don't mind the Overworld. Mine is the boss theme. I feel like it's the most underwhelming boss theme in the whole series.
Yeah, for sure. But I think the Overworld I hear the most, and it's just needlessly like march-y. But it's even bad at that.
I will say, though, that I think during the epilogue portion of the game, the Overworld theme is replaced by the Dragon Quest III Overworld theme, which I do appreciate.
That is true.
I like that.
That's an upturn.
Yeah.
A remembrance of better days.
Remember this? Yes, I do.
But for the most part, the music is not good, even if it was better arranged. Not even that orchestrated, but I mean, I don't think it would. The compositions are not that good.
They are not. I will say the orchestration does fix it a little bit, but yeah, it does not. There's no fixing bad composition.
So there's that, and also that Sugiyama is basically your right-wing grandpa's grandpa.
Yeah, there's also that. Fortunately, he'll be dead soon. I think we just need to let nature run its course, and then it's time to get some new blood in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Might I recommend Tomoki Miyoshi?
Of course, from...
Hang on, I dropped a thing. Okay, I'm back. He did the music for I Am Setsuna.
Yeah.
He's basically a mid-20s musical genius who lived in Australia for a while to study English and music.
Yeah.
And the I Am Setsuna soundtrack is all piano arrangements, but it's beautiful.
Yeah,
and he clearly knows his way around a composition.
And as far as we know, has no strong opinions on the rape of Nanking.
That's right. Or Nantucket.
Well, no. Hey, Nantucket's fine.
Okay. But yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know if he has experience composing for anything other than piano, but I think his style and his touch would be a great fit and a great addition to the DQ series after the old racist blood is gone.
Yeah. And, I don't want to get into a big sort of art versus artist sort of thing because it is kind of complicated to, like, just abandon Dragon Quest if you've been a fan of it for a while, just because of him. Because, for one thing, a whole lot of people worked on this game who may not even, again, may not have the same sort of strong views that he does or even really care that much about it. I can take him or leave him. For the most part, I could say the same about Yuji Horii because a lot of these stories, he only outlines the story, basically, right?
Right.
And the Dragon Quest series has a general producer, quote-unquote, who is not him, just some other guy at Square Enix, right? So, there is a leadership team who could take the series and franchise any which way it could and can because of all the spin-offs all through the years. Things that don't even come across Sugiyama's desk, I bet. So.
Yeah, and I think this is a case of the series has been around for so long and is so popular that it's time for the people who grew up as fans to start making it. I think that will be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I think you're going to start. Already we have that. We have, people working at Square Enix who grew up with old school DQ and Final Fantasy, and that's why they got into game development in the first place.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's we can start to let these guys go. I don't think they're royalty.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, I just wanted to say, like, don't feel bad if someone listening, that is, don't feel bad if you still like Dragon Quest because of this. On the other hand, if you really had no big interest in Dragon Quest over the years, and I don't know why you'd be listening to this otherwise,
that's true.
It's fine. I would agree with you. Otherwise, just say, like, fuck them, fuck all of them. But for those of us who have been in it for a while, it's kind of like, it's a little bit complicated, I would say.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to, like, defend Sugiyama in any way, shape, or form.
Good Lord, no.
Artistically or politically.
Yeah.
At this point.
Artistically, he used to be good. Let's also keep in mind that he was retired before he started doing Dragon Quest.
Yes, that's right.
He was
sitting at home,
career.
filling out registration cards.
Yeah.
As you do.
For Mahjong, was it?
Yeah, whatever the fuck it was.
Like, he was done. He was out. He had a long career as a composer for film and pop music and
probably
such.
Bought a PC with a pension check and got some Enix games and like,
Time to live up my retirement.
Simulator. This sounds fun. Dear Enix-san.
Why is he David Lynch?
I greatly enjoy your Yes. David Lynch, not such an asshole in that way. But yeah.
David Lynch-yama.
No.
Oh, you've never slain me so badly with one word before. Oh, Koichi Lynch.
I was done with 9.
Oh, no. Oh, fun. Okay, hi, I'm back.
But we should get David Lynch for the next Dragon Quest. How about that?
Yes!
That's an easy joke, but yeah.
Oh, David Quest.
All right, well, we ended that part on a high note, so that's good.
Yes.
Speaking of the overworld, which, as I said, was my least favorite tune, it's also kind of like my least favorite design decision in that game.
How so?
Again, I talked about this on No More Whoppers before, but they really made the world smaller than in 8, I feel. The world in 8 feels very big. It's not like an open world game, but it feels bigger.
I agree.
It feels like a JRPG world map taken to like a more life-size scale.
Yeah, DQ8 feels like it had a lot more open, expansive areas, and DQ11 feels like everything is a little bit narrower to kind of force you along. And
almost literally.
Not discourage exploration, but to just like not even offer the possibility. I mean, there's some places where you can kind of you can veer off and explore for a little bit, but by and large, it's kind of sticking you on this one path.
Yeah. I think even the greater world map, I think, feels a bit small.
Yeah, it kind of does.
There's not a lot of kingdoms to visit. And they all kind of take up large chunks of their continents or whatever. So that's kind of weird. But also I think it's kind of counterbalanced by having the horse, which I think, would feel like this great sort of opening up sort of mechanic. But you still have these tiny-ish fragments of the world that you are partitioned out in.
Yeah.
Is that a sentence? Excuse me. But they're all partitioned out, and they're all separated by these very thin, narrow paths that basically, once you enter this narrow path, it's like you run down them for too long until you finally hit the zone line and fade out into the next piece of the world map. It's like Metal Gear Solid 3, where it's just like the codec is constantly telling you to go north, and then, it finally makes the letterbox effect, and you finally zone out. It's like, I get that sort of feeling from it. I really don't know why they chose that. I
don't either.
Especially for the engine that they went with. Well, hold on. I might just contradict myself, actually, because they do make a bigger deal out of making set pieces, I think.
Okay.
Like, all the different parts of the world map, I think, have a certain view to them. Like, you can basically just stop and look around, and it is pretty no matter what. You can't really do that in 8, because it feels kind of like a... I mean, it is a PS2 game, and as advanced as the PS2 used to be, like, it still feels like kind of a barren-ish world map at times.
Oh, especially if you're playing on the 3DS version, where trees are just constantly loading and popping in.
Right. Well, that's not the best version anyway.
No, it's not.
But we're not talking about 8.
No, we're not.
We can in another podcast if you want.
We will do that eventually.
Okay, fine. But yeah, I think they made a greater emphasis on making pieces of the world map look more like what they probably made for the concept art.
Oh, yeah.
Like more scenic looking, like set pieces, like I said. So I get it in some ways, but I don't think functionally it makes the game feel as big as it should.
I like that windmill area with the wheat fields.
Oh, yeah, right.
That was pretty.
Yeah, that was okay.
And,
but I can't think of much else.
Yeah, that's
along those lines.
I'm really hard pressed. I kind of liked the northern areas, the snow areas. I thought that looked really pretty, but again, it was also kind of expansive,
cramped.
but not really.
Oh no!
What's that?
Yeah. I thought a lot of the world, the snowy parts were kind of cramped because they would put you down these corridors.
Yes, yeah, snow corridors.
Snowidors.
Thank you.
That was the working title for the town.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the localization editors thought that was not that good.
No.
I'm a silly head.
I know you are. But what am I?
Sillier.
Oh.
Sorry, that was bad. Sorry, I don't like the world map. Even the horse, I mean, because again, the horse just feels kind of useless after a while.
Yeah, I stopped using the horse after the beginning because you don't need it.
Yeah. But, I mean, it is helpful sometimes when I got really annoyed, but like, I just want to finish this thing already, and the dash isn't meeting my requirements at the time. So yeah, okay. I'll ring the bell, call the horse. Good. There we go. Yeah. So that's that. I think that might be all of the real big negatives I had, finally, that I squeezed out.
I miss riding a saber cat like in 8.
Okay.
That was fun. I love doing that.
Yeah. Well, of course, you can sort of ride some enemies.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I do like doing that. I like when they give you the ability to actually fly in 3 dimensions. Then that got really fun for me. I like flying.
That's true. Yeah.
You could have a Dragon.
Called dragons, Alex.
Oh, sorry.
Dragon Quest.
A Dargon.
Oh, okay. Dargon Quest.
Thank you.
Oh.
It's a cartoon. It's a fantasy land.
Exactly. So, I don't know. You want to talk about the ending? Or the last parts of it?
Let's do it.
Okay, which ending?
Well, let's start with the first one.
Okay, the first ending, which obviously ends a bit flat, I thought, because obviously they were going to push you into more after that.
Yeah.
It's a nice bait and switch, I guess. But I mean, who is going to stop after that?
Well, I want to say this. I was fully expecting. I mean, keep in mind that when I finished, well, I didn't finish it, but you know what I mean. When I got that first ending about a year ago, I was fully expecting. Okay, I'm going to make a post game save, and there's going to be post game content, maybe a dungeon and some bonus bosses.
Right.
Let's do that.
The huge.
Yeah, the huge. And then, much to my surprise and delight, this seems to be the first Dragon Quest where the post game is actually a continuation of the story in a meaningful way.
Yeah. It is about like 20-ish hours.
Yeah, it's a sizable chunk.
Yeah. Because you do basically go back in time.
Yeah.
To try and fix what happened.
Yeah.
And you do some backtracking, but not a whole lot, because you don't spend a lot of time in the places that you backtrack to.
Right.
Relatively. So that's okay. And by then, you do recapture your original levels from the first ending.
Right, I like that. Yeah, eventually you get all
not
caught
at first,
up.
But yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
So that's good.
It's also an interesting way. It's a nice way to redistribute your skill points if you ever had second thoughts with your original. I mean, you can always reset your points for a price in the game.
That is true.
But
that is
but
what
here,
I did.
Yeah, but here
I wiped them clean.
Wow. But here it's basically telling you, hey, here's a freebie. You can rethink your entire skill tree.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the first ending. Sorry, I'm trying to remember it a bit.
Yeah, it's been a while. And then when you realize that, oh, this is not the real ending, and you quickly move on, I kind of didn't really commit it to memory after that.
Yeah. So basically, what happens earlier in the game is that, you get tricked by the bad guy this whole time.
Yeah.
You basically just get beaten down, and the world goes to shit.
Guy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, not him.
Oh.
More of a Kai Kiski.
Klaus Kinski.
So the world goes to shit, and then, you are reincarnated as a fish, and then you try and regain your human form.
Oh, I love that so much.
Yeah, return to the world and become the hero everybody needs and go and defeat the bad guy by then going back in time of the first time and seeing his tricks and stopping him, and then boom, yeah, bitch, you can see me doing hand motions as I do this, and then yeah, and then you basically just stop him early, and then yeah, cool, all right, that's fine. But then it turns out no, actually, he knew. He's out there in the nether realm going like, oh, I see, two can play at this game, and then he makes some other shit happen right after your victory party.
I have a question here. Well, what do they call the hero's star in the English version?
Well, what do you mean? What is the hero's star?
The red star in the sky. Lavos. It looks like Lavos.
Oh, okay. Well, there's two names, right?
Are there?
The final boss inside of the thing is called Kalasmos.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
The name of the star, I forget. I believe... Oh, yeah, that's right. It's called Erdwin's Lantern.
Oh, okay. That's creative.
Yes. So inside the lantern is Kalasmos.
Okay.
With a C.
Yeah.
With a C. Spelled with a C, not a K.
Okay. All right.
Because it's a pun, sort of, on calamity.
Yeah, I get it.
Right?
And,
okay.
I'm
just saying it for our younger listeners. We are a family show.
Cosmos?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't remember what they called him in the Japanese version because I couldn't beat him and I got real frustrated.
But now I've given you the power player's tip.
I know how to do fight.
Yes.
That's my homework.
This is basically what's in the counselor's corner in Nintendo Power. How do I beat Kalasmos? Lift up the sword, dummy.
Use the sword.
Hint, hint.
Oh, fun.
So the first ending, yeah, it's like, yeah, okay, that was easy enough. Yeah, cool, we got him. But, if you're smart enough, and have absorbed enough media over the years, you can be like, there's more to this, isn't there? And sure enough, there is.
Yeah.
Because also, by the time that first ending rolls around, you've lost a party member.
That's right.
The character's essentially dead. It's Veronica. It's a spoiler cast. We can say whatever we want.
Yes.
But yeah, so Veronica's dead. But then, in the second one, because you go further back in time, right? Now I'm losing track.
So this part I was kind of fuzzy on. Erdwin... oh no, are we both fuzzy?
Yeah. Get dizzy.
Erdwin and his 3 pals vanquished a great evil long ago.
Oh, yes.
One of Erdwin's Wait.
Yeah, so the wizard guy...
Yeah.
He got corrupted by evil.
And he became the bad dude.
Yeah, the purple guy.
And then another one became the timekeeper.
Right, yes.
And then what happened to Erdwin? Yeah, what happened to Erdwin himself?
Yeah, I don't think that was ever really touched on.
Okay, great.
Was he killed by... I think, the wizard struck him down or something.
Yeah, he got betrayed by the wizard, who then became... what is the villain's name? How did they localize the villain's name in this?
Mordragon.
Oh, I like that. I like when they end things...
Damn it.
Mordecai. I do like when they end things with Gone, like
Mordragon,
Skullgone and DQ3.
Right, Skullgone, take me away.
Calculon.
Yes. Evilos.
Weebelos. So then Hero goes back in time to warn everybody, and so they can then get the jump on Mordragon in the Holy Tree in Yggdrasil.
Yggdrasil, yeah.
Instead of getting... Oh, that's another thing. Jasper.
Yes.
Yeah, in the English version. In Japanese, his name is Homeros.
I see.
Which is so very close to homoerotic. Although I cannot take the name Jasper seriously because that's the name that my grandfather used to use when he couldn't remember your name.
Wow.
He would call everybody Jasper. Hey, Jasper! Yeah.
That's cute.
So yeah, then you can get the drop on Jasper and then get the drop on Mordragon, and then take things the way they're supposed to go.
Yeah. But then in the post game, let's call it, which is called Remembrance, I guess. I guess the whole chapter is called Remembrance, I guess.
Oh, okay.
At least that's what the save file said when I first beat it. Mordragon unleashes basically the Erdwin's lantern, which is the giant star, and basically just accelerates its descent onto the Earth, and then unleashes Kalasmos.
Okay.
Who, takes root in another big thing in the sky that you have to go and beat him in. But you also have to be prepared for it. And then, you basically just do all that. Level up some, get prepped, collect some stuff to... wait, do you forge the sword in the second part?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you do forge the sword that you're supposed to lift up to beat the boss.
Thank you.
And then go fight him and do that. And yeah.
Okay.
And win with everybody alive and happy, hopefully.
Well, then that's what I'm going to do, smart guy.
Yeah. Oh, you do have to go through the trials as well. There's the trials on the funny island with the funny people.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I remember having some trouble with those. That's one of the only parts.
So here's the thing. I can't remember. I didn't... once again, I've done tons of research for this, but I can't exactly remember if you needed to do one trial or all the trials, because I thought the game didn't make it super clear. So I went ahead and did all 3 of these trials in order, basically.
So did I. I think you have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
It seemed weird. Like, maybe you didn't have to, but... either way, the final one turned out to be the easiest one. The one that they said was the hardest, because you basically warp back to like these upgraded versions of past dungeons.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Wait, is that where you have to fight the beefed up version of your dad?
Of your dad?
No, I might be misremembering. No. Don't you fight like a skeleton knight who's just stupid hard, and you have to beat him in under a certain amount of turns?
Well, the thing is that you go through the dungeon, and then you meet the spirit of one of the Erdwin's pals.
Okay. That's right. Yeah.
The tank guy who presents you with a challenge, a trial to beat some powered up boss within a certain number of turns.
That's right.
Which you can also do in the other town, the monk kingdom.
Oh,
You
yeah.
do different trials. But basically, you can keep going back to him, and he'll keep feeding you different bosses, whether or not you finish the trials in order or not.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's fun.
And then he gives you certain rewards, like, I want this superpower, or I want to marry Gem up. And he's like, oh, no, not yet. So
I seem to remember that.
Basically, you have to collect all the rewards, I think, before you can get to marry Gemma.
Oh, that's the real ending.
Yeah, so you do have to be quite powered up and ready to beat all those bosses there. But yeah, as it turns out, the third and what they called the hardest dungeon is just a retread of the first the first half of the game's final dungeon, which was the Fortress of Fear.
Oh, yes.
Which I believe is also the name of the Game Boy Wizards and Warriors game. But by then, you've basically figured it out, and you only really need the one dragon thing to fly up all the top and just go ahead and finish the same puzzle that you did before. And it's not that bad compared to the first trial dungeon, which has the false floors, and you're only falling through it, and you have to fall through it so you can get through. And then the second one is a retread of that gold palace, which is a bitch and a half.
Yeah, I hate that one.
A real maze. So I just thought it was funny, like, oh yeah, the third one's not that bad comparatively. And I can go ahead and level up with these superpowered random enemies.
Yes, I will say that the nicest part about the Fortress of Fear was it was very easy to farm Metal King slimes, and if you put points into Camus' daggers, he gets an ability that is an instant critical hit.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So
this reminds me. Yes, yeah, you're right. I did do that. Yeah, Critical Claim is the skill name.
Oh, nice.
That is recommended to anyone who wants to farm metal slimes.
Yeah.
Slimes are made of metal.
Thank you.
Go ahead, play that drop.
I can't. I didn't open my soundboard because this is not a typical No More Whoppers episode.
Oh, darn. Well, then here's this.
Cars are made of metal.
Wow.
That's right. I got a gender-swapped version.
How did you do that so quickly?
It's almost like I prepared it.
Wow. Yeah, that's okay. Fun.
That did remind me of something else entirely, just randomly. I was playing the game, and I found a metal babble, and it was immediately charmed by Jade.
I thought they call them liquid metal slimes now.
I'm going by...
Okay.
Look, I don't pay attention to this.
Thank you.
Whatever they're called. Anyway, I was immediately charmed by Jade.
Okay.
And then Jade went first in battle, and then hit it with a critical hit.
Nice. Perfect.
And I was like, perfect, yes. Lovely. More of that, please.
Oh. I love Jade. I my playthrough, I always gave Jade claws over spears.
I stuck with spears.
Okay.
I just went with everybody's default, basically.
Okay. What about the hero, though? Did you stick with one-handed swords or two-handed?
Oh, eventually I went with two-handed, because I also had a sword that hit twice. So I would make a total of 3 hits.
It's also worth noting that I believe it's worth going with two-handed in the long run because I think most bosses ignore evasion.
Oh, interesting.
Which is really the only point of the shield.
Those pricks.
I know.
Yeah, what else? That also reminded me.
Hi.
Let's take a side topic.
Okay.
The crafting.
Oh, sure.
What do you think of the fun size forge is what it's called?
Yes. I think it's fine. I'm okay with it. It sort of combines the alchemy system from 8 and 9, but you got a chance to get an improved item.
Yeah, but you do have to work for it.
Yeah, but I like that. Even if you fuck it up completely, you still get the normal quality item. It's not like you lose your materials.
Yeah, unless you fuck it up really bad.
Oh, you can do that?
Well, I mean, I don't remember exactly.
If you can, I've never fucked it up that bad. I've never fucked it up to the point of where I lose my items.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you lose your, what they call perfectionist pearls.
Oh, right, because you have to redo it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
There's that, and that's not great, but...
No. But
it's still, even if you do get, like, less than perfect, it's still disappointing. You're like, oh, man, I could have nailed it.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
and gotten it the way it should have been. But it is interesting how they did that sort of mini game to craft this thing now.
Yeah, and I think that gets kind of fun later on. You have all those options for hammering. And in fact,
I imagine it's a hell of a time trying to figure it out in Japanese, at least for me.
Yeah. I was about to say that. It took me a while to figure out what all of those things do.
Yeah.
Fortunately, a lot of them are easy enough to translate, but some of them are like, huh?
You have a regular, in English, you have the bash is the first thing, and then you have the flourishes, which are like the special bashes, basically.
Nice.
But yeah, I guess they're not all in like hiragana, are they?
They're mostly in hiragana, and there's some kanji, but it's mostly pretty easy to understand. But yeah, there are a few where it's
for you, I'm sure.
Well, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Japan des.
Nihongo. You Nihongo fuck yourself.
Oh, Garugamesh.
Yeah. I don't know, I still felt like this post-game content kind of went a bit too long.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I liked it. I mean, I was in that mood where I get in RPGs where it's like, I don't want this to end. I want this to go on forever. So I was totally okay with it. Well, eat a dick.
However, I did finish the game in less time than I am currently in Dragon Quest 7. So.
Oh wow! Okay,
I guess that's to be expected, but yes. I mean, at this point, I'm definitely not done with 7, but I'm like almost 60 hours in. But I finished 11 in I think 68 hours.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
because my Japanese file is coming up on double that.
Well, you're also quite insane about the series. I'm not so much. I do enjoy Dragon Quest, but I'm not someone who wants to 100% it all the time.
I think I may try that eventually with 11.
Okay.
Including those draconian challenges.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can turn those on and off.
Yeah, but mid-game?
Yeah, right?
Really?
They tell you you can do it at the church.
Oh. But wait, are there trophies for doing those?
That I don't know. That I don't pay attention to.
If there are not, I may not do them. Because my goal is to basically just platinum the game.
I just pay attention to the in-game achievements, basically, that give you little banners when you do stuff. Like, you held 100,000 gold.
Fun.
Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I definitely didn't pay attention.
Okay.
But yeah, you can turn them on and off in church.
Interesting.
So maybe they wouldn't be too tied to an achievement. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not. Because if the achievement is just finish the game with them active, anybody could go through the whole game and then turn them on just before the last boss.
Right, exactly.
And that's cheap. All right. So tell me how you feel about the real ending.
Well, it did. It was more satisfying.
Yeah, right.
But yes, the real ending. You mean the what they call in the Marvel Cinematic Universe the post-credits scene?
Thank you.
Yes, where we see the Loto before Loto, I guess.
Yep.
I mean, that's what the hero of 11 is now, I guess. The Loto before Loto.
Yeah, the pre-Loto.
By that, I mean the Dragon Quest III hero, Loto.
Right.
Who I guess you see now in this ending cinematic where the mom comes up and it's like, Cooey! I don't know. What was that all about? Why'd I call him Cooey?
I don't know.
I mean, calls the kid Cooey. It's like, yeah, wake up, sleepyhead, or whatever they say in Chrono Trigger. Wrong game, but, you know. Same difference, right? Akira Toriyama.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what to think about that exactly. Some people are thinking, well, I guess now we'll get a Dragon Quest 3 remake. It's like, no, I don't think that is necessarily the case. I think they just wanted to make a nod to everything because, you know, the opening theme goes back to that original Loto trilogy,
right?
The overture, and you know, you get the Sword of Light, and you look at some of that stuff from Erdwin, not Erdrick or Loto,
right?
And you know, you see the familiar the eagle design and whatnot. So you're like, yeah, okay, I can kind of see where this is going. I just don't know exactly where, Because this could be a prequel, or this could just be a reboot of some sort. Turns out to be more of a prequel sort of deal.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess, is this supposed to now establish a new trilogy? Are we going to get more prequels now? Everything before 3? I don't know what to think.
I hope so.
I'm sure you would like that, yeah. You love your Loto.
Yes, I would. I do. I'm a Loto lover.
I can understand why they kept Erdrick, but I still don't like Erdrick compared to Loto as a name.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Did they use Erdrick?
Yeah, so, at the ending, it's they go from Erdwin to the spirit or whatever, now bestowing the title of Erdrick. So they go from Erdwin to Erdrick. You don't like that?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's really forced in, right?
They've already established Loto in the newer localizations. Why would they revert to Erdrick?
No, they didn't. What do you know
Yes, they
about?
did. On the Game Boy.
Okay, well, the Game Boy was retconned.
Was it?
Yes.
All right, fine.
If you play the newest version, which would be the mobile versions, yeah, they go back to Erdrick.
Oh, do they really?
Yes.
Oh, shit, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, I guess
And
they've
Builders,
spoken.
yeah.
Oh, Builders too?
I believe so, yeah.
Holy shit, I've really been out of it. Because I don't play any of these in English anymore, I guess. Like, the last one that I play in English consistently is 3 on the GBC.
Yeah, no, that's been wiped.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
They're back to Erdrick, bro.
All right, well, then I'm okay with that as long as they're being consistent.
Yeah. No, I just don't like it as a name. I don't like the sound of it, is what I mean. Okay.
Also, I think for the first 2 years that I played Dragon Warrior as a kid, I was convinced it was Edric.
Well, yeah, I mean, but
because
you're
kids are stupid.
What do you know? Yeah.
Kids are dumb. Kids don't know nothing.
I see we've reached 2 revelations in this podcast now.
Yeah. Also, stay tuned for our new NPR podcast, You're a Kid, What Do You Know?
Oh, man. Kids' versions of NPR shows would be the worst.
Yeah.
That is a good, comedy sketch, though, idea.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
This American Life for Kids?
Yeah, This American Kid's Life.
Who took Susie's milk?
Wait, don't bully me. Fart air.
I think you're trying a bit too hard, I think.
Hang on. Micro Machines talk. Just fire me.
Yeah, you're out for sure.
All right, thanks.
Please leave.
All right, I'm free. Bye. All right. So that's. I think we've covered the main game there. Anything else that you wanted to hit?
The new version of a game called Dragon Quest.
Oh yeah, let's talk about Dragon Quest.
Yeah, right. Let's do that. I thought we should do a lightning round.
Oh, fun.
Although not really a lightning. Not like lightning fast. But I just want to hit some things. Some things that we already kind of touched on, but not really.
All right.
You ready?
Yes, go.
I want to know, what's your favorite party member?
I'm probably going to say Jade.
All right. I might go Sylvando.
Sylvando's pretty good. I like the fact that all the party members do have their own unique thing. Like there's obviously some overlap in their abilities, but they all are useful. They all are most useful in a specific situation.
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
I like Jade because I'm first of all, I'm partial to physical fighters. Second of all, my favorite DQ4 character was Elena, and really any fast-moving character with claws is absolutely what I'm going for.
I see. Yeah, sure.
She learns this thing called, I think it's in the Japanese version, it's called Tiger Claw. It's just a triple strike, which, and I think the way it works, mathematically, is the first hit has a chance to crit, and then if it does, the second hit has a much higher chance to crit, and if that does, then the third hit has a much higher chance to crit. So you can do ridiculous damage with that attack.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she was pretty tough anyway. Yes. Like I said, I stuck with spears because I'm lazy. I'm not a true gamer.
You're not a true gamer fuel.
Dragon Quest Gamer Fuel now at Walmart. Okay, what's your favorite town / kingdom, whatever you want to call them?
Oh boy, that's a tough one for me. I tend to prefer towns to kingdoms, just because kingdoms it's too much stuff.
I mean, they're all kind of kingdoms because they all have like a leader sort. But yeah. I just mean whatever place that has people in it.
Oh, definitely the fishing village. I've already forgotten what you told me the name was.
Sylvando's home?
No. The the Japanese style fishing village with the mermaid quest.
Oh, the mermaid
Porto
quest.
Porto
no,
Vallarta.
I'm sorry, that's not it then. I misunderstood you.
Oh, yes, you did.
Of course, I once again blanked out on what the hell it was called.
Again, I have failed.
It's the place with the mermaid plotline. People kind of like the mermaid plotline, by the way.
I did too. Yeah. I thought that was kind of a sad one, but I feel like that's what Dragon Quest does really well. It's just those little fairy tale vignettes.
Yeah, that was definitely the most fairy tale-ish plotline in this little game for sure.
But I really like that town because I'm a sucker for Japanese style, just like architecture, and especially when there's moss growing on everything, like in that town.
Oh yeah,
that's a big thing. Like I don't know if people are aware, but the Japanese national anthem is pretty much about moss. It's
I didn't know this.
Oh yeah. I had to learn the Japanese national anthem for to attend a junior high school graduation ceremony a few years ago. And the last line of the anthem is literally may Japan's existence continue like moss on a rock.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Or something to that effect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that style of village. I think it looks really nice.
So by the way,
hi.
The village is called Lonalulu.
Monolulu.
Lonalulu.
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 Hello. Lonalulu. I'm guessing that's supposed to be like Honolulu.
And like the mini medals. The mini medal school, by the way, is the French part of the game.
The what?
The French stereotype part of the world is in the mini medal academy.
Oh, good. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I did like that as well, with headmaster John Williams.
Yes. Well, it's French John Williams in the English word.
Jean William. Pretty good.
All right. I guess my favorite town was, I gotta go with Gondolia.
Okay.
Not just because of the Italian stuff, but mostly.
See.
Yeah.
We.
Okay. This question's all for you. What's your favorite enemy? There are some new enemies. You don't have to say a new one, but what's your favorite enemy represented in this Dragon Quest XI?
I don't know. Usually I go with, you know what? It's probably just it's my favorite in most games. It's the traditional King Slime.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Just because I love how wobbly and beautiful they look.
Yeah,
I love their
do
eye
look
animation.
Wobbly,
yeah,
and beautiful. There was some times I think during like night where the lighting of them as they wobbled kind of revealed their polygons a bit too much.
Oh,
so
no. Okay.
Yeah. They looked a bit rickety.
Oh, dear.
A funny effect.
I was also a big fan of, later on in the game, there's an enemy that appears in that wheat field with the windmills. It's just a giant demon with a club.
Oh, yeah.
And I forget what they're called. I think in Japanese it's just something like, Club Demon. Also, the new member of the Critical Hit family, check out Club Demon in downtown Nagoya.
Oh, nice, yes.
But yeah, it's based on the character model.
Sounds like something from a Yakuza game.
It's based on a character, a monster design that first appeared in DQ4 as a boss. I believe it was Balzac.
The Cyclops?
No.
Okay,
I do like.
no.
Oh yeah, it might be Cyclops though. I do. Okay. I love that Cyclops design because the Cyclops monster first appeared in DQ2, and I fell in love with them like even way back then when I was like 9 years old because I don't know, something about that design that I really, because it's based on like a Japanese oni, which we do not have in the West. So that was my first exposure to like
yokai.
an oni.
No, that's something
Thank
different,
you.
I think. Oh no, I know what you mean now. Yeah,
yeah.
Because
they're wearing like that, like, you know, tiger skin fucking half vest skirt thing, and in DQ2 the basic ass ones don't even have a club, and then they put a club in their hands, and then one of them is a boss. I think that's Atlas, the boss you have to fight at the end of 2. But yeah, I love big DQ enemies. Any enemy that takes up most of the screen, I'm all about.
Big burly boys.
Yes. What's your BBB? What do you like?
Well, not so much those, but I guess I do like the skeleton type things you can ride on and climb up walls. Yeah. Turned out to freak out my wife because she came in when I was fighting a battle with them while I was riding one. Then immediately the screen faded out and was just showing me zoomed in on this riding the skull thing.
Yep.
It's like, oh god, what is? Oh, I see.
That'll startle you.
Yeah. Funny though, so I remember it for that. Okay, we mentioned the mermaid story, but what's your favorite plot quest?
It might be plot quest. The stuff in Sniffelheim where the cute queen with glasses.
Yes, you
knew that was going to be it.
On this already. Yes.
Yeah, you have to take down the Snow Witch, and then you get tricked, and you accidentally free the Snow Witch, and then the queen is imprisoned.
Yes.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, side note, I will say, I don't know if it's just because of the graphics or what, compared to 8 or whatever, but they really made a lot of attractive young women in this game.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Like, even NPCs, even plot characters.
Queen Megane, probably one of my favorite NPCs.
Yeah, and what I might call some MILFs.
Oh yeah, MILFs. You got your MILFs.
Yeah.
Jukujo, that's what it is in Japanese.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, just in case anybody needs some search terms.
Yes, of course.
Just trying to help out the fan base.
And later, some publishers. Okay, my answer for this, I'm not so sure.
Hi.
Although, early on, when you do have to sneak around the slums of Heliodor, and everybody on the low end of town is just cockney as fuck.
Yeah.
I just like those where they're, no H's in their speech, just like,
oh yeah.
Hello there.
That's flawless.
Yeah. Fancy a medicinal herb. That kind of thing.
You know that I do.
Well, I know you do. Okay. How about your favorite NPC / miscellaneous character, not someone in the party? I guess, is it Queen Cutie?
It might be. It's either Queen Cutie or it's, I don't know her name in English. Whoever runs Bartertown. No, whoever runs the kung fu monastery where you can do trials.
Okay, yeah, I think Peng Lai.
Is that her name? I don't know.
Yeah, one of the MILFs.
Yes. Yes. Martial arts MILFs. That's another popular search term in my household. That's a pretty. I like. She's pretty great. I like that whole area. I like those trials.
Possibly I got that name wrong.
Sure. Kung Lao, that's it.
A little bit different.
Oh, shit. Okay. Ling Kuei, is that familiar?
Also different.
Oh, shit.
That's what Kung Lao practices.
Shang Tsung.
No, that's his clan or whatever, right?
Oh. No, that's Sub-Zero's clan.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat mythology, Sub-Zero.
That's our next episode. Oh, that's so depressing. I just thought about that. Can you imagine us talking for an hour and a half about Mortal Kombat mythology Sub-Zero?
Well, I don't think we should talk about it. We should do like a live stream of it.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Get over here. Oh, get it? Reference.
Hey, come here. I say it more politely for children.
Scorpion first drafts, yeah. Come here.
I'm going to slap the sweat out of you.
Well, what about you? Yeah, who's your favorite Mortal Kombat character?
Yeah. Sector. Jeez. Good question. I would say Sylvando's posse later in the game.
Oh, yeah. I like those guys.
His troop. His troop of, let's say, like-minded men.
Yes.
His, let's say, merry band. They're good because some of them are kind of like even dialed up a bit more than Sylvando is when they start talking. I'm sure you'll encounter this later in the game.
Okay.
Yeah, just the way they also just fawn over Sylvando and just kind of worship him in that way. Yeah. And then also when they get his dad in on the action.
Oh yeah, I like that
because his dad, first there's a tense yet ending up to be touching family reunion. And then Sylvando's like, okay, you take over the gay band now. He's like, what? And again, this is what I like about, people just being tolerant of Sylvando, because his dad's like, what? Okay. If, it's honorable. So, yeah, it's cool. I mean, he's discomforted at first, but he's like, yeah, I'll do it because it's my duty as a knight, I guess. So,
yeah.
That's what, so I think that's cool that they don't, Sylvando's not really a laughingstock.
Yeah.
He has, a knight's honor, but he's also a fun-loving entertainer, and that's cool.
Yeah, just like us, we're fun-loving entertainers.
Yeah.
Look at me juggle. Oh, fuck.
Oh, jeez, yeah, that'll cost you.
Yeah, sorry. We gotta buy more eggs.
All right, finally, my next and hardest question for you. What is your favorite song?
I don't know.
Track. Yeah,
this is. I mean, we've been over the whole soundtrack thing, but I have no idea. It's nothing really comes to mind. Nothing really jumps out.
Maybe we should just both settle on the easy one, which is the overworld theme from 3.
Yes. Yeah, I was about to say that. Yes.
Which they put back in here. Yeah.
That's a great song. Yeah. Takes me back to 1988.
Yeah. Now, I didn't write this in the notes, but if you want to do least favorite of these.
Battle theme, or boss theme.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know what it is, the boss music in DQ11, it grates on me.
It never, I'm not going to call it good or tolerable, but it never grated on me. Like, it didn't really hit me as much as it has other people.
I think it annoys me.
It was definitely the overworld theme.
It annoys me so much because a lot of DQ series boss music is phenomenal. I mean, it's all pretty great, and so to finally get one that's just a clunker it hurts all the more. I think is what I mean.
They should call him Clunky Sugiyama.
They should. I'll write to him right now and suggest that.
Captain Clunk. Okay. Well then, least favorite party member?
I don't know. I like all of God's creatures. I know you can change a lot of their clothes with different armor sets, but I kind of wish that Hendrick's default look was a little better.
Yeah. Speaking of that, they did bring back the dangerous swimsuit.
Oh, good.
Which is not that dangerous.
Oh.
It's a pretty conservative-looking swimsuit, but it is for Jade and I believe Serena. No, maybe just Jade.
Oh, nice.
No, there's two different swimsuits for Jade.
Oh.
But yeah, they're basically palette swaps.
Nice. All right.
But they don't look... They're not as revealing as you might think. Not even as much as the bunny suit.
Well, who's trying to get their kicks from Dragon Quest?
Well, I mean... We did just talk about the hot girls in it.
Well, yes, but that's... Okay, you're right. All right, fine.
I'm not admitting anything.
All right.
But I'm not denying either. Least favorite town?
Oh shit. Fuck. I don't know. One of the kingdoms. I don't like big kingdoms because it's too much looting I have to do. Are you talking about physically, like from an aesthetic angle?
Any way it grabs you.
All right. Well, oh fuck.
Or doesn't.
Aesthetically, I don't know. Aesthetically, I might say it might be no. I don't know. They're all pretty good.
All right.
I don't know, man. I think my runner up for second best is probably the Hot Springs town next to the Forge. Because again, that's another kind of Japanese style town. I like giant staircases.
And
you
in
can
English,
quote me on that.
The English name is Hotto.
Hotto! Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Hotto.
And then, of course, as you may have seen or heard already, the people who speak in haiku.
Oh.
From those villages. That village.
Okay. Oh, they did that. They've done that in some other DQ localizations before.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think for some people it was the first time seeing that, and they were just like kind of face palming and
guys.
Oh, Dragon Quest, come on!
It's Dragon Quest.
It is.
You remember in Dragon Quest 3 on the Game Boy Color, there was a talking horse in one of the.
What? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, his name was Mr. Edo. But here's the thing. Here's what always pissed me off is. What always annoyed me about that was he was in what was supposed to be the Native American village and not in the Japanese village. Like, why is he not in the old Japanese village if he's Mr. Edo?
We'll never know.
We'll never know. The world may never know.
I'm going to go against you a bit and say my least favorite town is Sniffelheim.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Now, wait. I like Queen Cutie just as much as you do.
Yeah.
But, the town itself is kind of meh. It's a circle, okay.
Yeah, I do think it's like it barely qualifies as a hamlet, let alone a kingdom.
Yeah. True.
I like the snow look. I like the whole crystallized powder, the ice. I like the way the game renders snow. But yeah, as a design, it's not a great town.
All right, least favorite enemy?
Oh, fuck my face. I don't know.
Okay. There is, I believe, what is a new enemy, which is kind of like ones that have kind of like pom-poms on their head.
Oh, yeah, those things. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those.
Yeah, no.
That's the second enemy in the game after the slime.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I'm not into that.
Second ever enemy you see, and it's like, no.
Yeah, what are you doing?
No, I'll go ahead and whack the shit out of you. Yeah.
I mean, really, from an enemy design standpoint, certainly that. From an ability standpoint, and anything that uses any of the instant death spells will always piss me off.
Yeah. Does that go for Persona too?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my first introduction to instant death spells. Well, everybody's was in DQ2. Again, when I was probably 8 or 9 years old, and you get into Roan, the sort of the end game area, and I got out of this long ass cave, which is the longest and hardest cave in the game, and I'm about to get to this place where I can save my game, and before I do, I get in a fight with 3 living flames or blizzards or whatever they are, and one of them just immediately casts defeat, and all 3 of my dudes automatically killed, and that's game over. No, what the fuck? No, this is no. And that has stuck with me for years.
Yeah, apparently. You
Not
see,
into that.
Would you say it's love-hate with Dragon Quest overall?
It's yes. I will say that.
All right, one more. Least favorite NPC?
Least favorite NPC. I don't have a least. Why would I have a least favorite NPC?
All right, fine. That's fine. I guess I don't have one either, really.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to hate on an NPC.
Okay, fair enough. I didn't really have an answer either, but
then
it finished the list.
Oh my god!
It just finished the list. That's all. Okay, we're done. We're done. We're done.
Hey, okay. Ray, least favorite tree in the whole game. Go.
Oh, the big gnarly one.
Well, we agree finally.
I might be thinking of Boku no Natsuyazumi.
Well, thanks for listening to Boku no Dragon Quest.
All right, let's end it with this. Future predictions for where the series would go from here. Now, immediately on the horizon, we have Dragon Quest XI S for Switch, which is coming out in Japan and will have voice acting added to it in Japanese.
Oh, it will have Japanese voice acting?
Apparently, that's what I read.
Is this... Oh my god, is this going to be the first Japanese voice acting in a Dragon Quest game?
No, they did it for 8 on 3DS.
Did they?
I believe so, yeah.
I don't remember that at all. Okay. I mean, yeah, I own that, but I don't remember that. Well then, Sure.
I'm sure the spin-offs have done it. Yeah, obviously. Heroes and swords and shit. But yeah.
So as of yesterday, they have announced a new Dragon Quest Monsters Joker, which will include Eric and his sister, whose name I forget.
Mia.
Is that also her name in English? I guess it is.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So yeah, Eric and Mia, I guess as kids, will be in the new DQ Monsters. So look forward to that.
That's good. Well, I mean, I wonder if it is an indicator of making that series not suck, finally.
I hope so, because yeah. I'm not a big fan of those games.
I mean, the originals, the 8-bit ones were fine, but after that it's like, a bit too repetitive. Too much for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alex, you do love Dragon Quest Monsters. Literally
no,
as
I
a
don't.
concept.
No, yes. I love the monsters in Dragon Quest. I do not love Dragon Quest Monsters.
Yes. So, yeah. So take it from Alex.
Take it from me to stop those monsters. 1, 2, 3 is a great new way that's guaranteed.
Yeah.
Just
so they are capitalizing on 11 in that regard.
Right. You're going to see a lot of monster designs that were introduced in 11.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure if they make like another Heroes game, they'll probably add some of the heroes from that game.
Have they announced a console? Is that just going to be on Switch, or are they still putting shit out on 3DS?
They have not announced it. I would assume at this point they'd probably just go with Switch.
Huh, yeah, right?
Yeah. 3DS, I think, even for them at this point, is a little bit stretching it. Because the only one really making new 3DS games of any note are Nintendo.
Yeah.
And Atlas is just cleaning up the localization backlog, basically.
Yeah. So the big question here is, where do you see Dragon Quest XII going?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I wasn't sure really what the ending of 11 is really suggesting.
Well, no, I don't mean story-wise. I mean, like, it's probably just going to be a completely original story. But I mean, like what console, do you have a console prediction?
I see. Well, it hasn't been too many years since 10 at least, and 10 was on Wii at first.
Right.
Still late in the Wii's life, which is then why they ported it to everything else. 11 was pretty much smack dab in the middle of the PS4. Also later half of the 3DS. So I think if the Switch has a few more years left in it, we'll probably see it on that.
I have a crazy... What?
I'm not sure what else there will be unless, the PlayStation 5 is announced soon or something.
Yeah. Haven't there been rumblings that they're going to announce the PS5 soon?
Well, I mean, it's all basically like foregone conclusions in a way. Like, it'll probably be in the next couple of years, so wait till next E3, that sort of thing. I'm sure they're working on it to some degree.
Okay. So here's my prediction for 12. I think that either before or during the production of DQ12, Sugiyama is going to croak, and they are going to have to refill that position.
Yeah, that's the best prediction.
Yeah, that's the safe prediction.
Yeah.
So I fully anticipate. I mean, Japan does have the longest lifespan, I believe, in the world. I believe it's Japanese women, followed by Japanese men.
Yeah.
But he's getting up there. He's 90-something. Yeah. He's probably going to kick it before or during development.
Not the good kind of kicking it.
No. He should be retired and kicking it, in Hawaii. She should get out of our hair and let somebody else
step
started
this whole
up and
thing
take
by
the mantle.
kicking it.
He did. And then we can get some young blood in there to kick it, jams wise.
Yeah, I wonder about that. I'm not so sure young blood is a guarantee.
Well, I mean, it's got to be somebody who understands like the legacy of Dragon Quest and understands what they're getting into. I don't think they're just going to hire anybody with a good resume. It's got to be somebody who understands the series.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they would do that, yeah. It's sort of like, audition people, sort of, so to speak. And just
just find, like, the four hottest JRPG composers and get them on, American Idol or something. Have Simon Cowell just berate the fuck out of them. Like, fucking Simon Cowell sitting next to Yuji Horii and Akira Toriyama.
And Randy Jackson.
And like Simon just shits on a composer for this like 90-second tirade, and then it pans over to Yuji Horii, and he's just like, "I'm sorry, I don't know English."
It's a no for me, dog.
All right.
Dameda.
Who knows what the future will hold for our favorite Dragon Quest? I guess we'll find out together.
Sugiyama used to do music for like fucking TV dramas and shit, right?
Yeah. And some Godzilla films, I believe.
Okay, well, boy. Huh. Well,
And,
here comes a hot stepper.
And pop songs.
Okay, sure. So it was weird, yeah. So then he retired, and then he joined on with Dragon Quest.
Right.
This is basically his retirement plan. He's working on video games.
And somewhere in there, he started collecting antique cameras.
Whoop-de shit. Anyway, I'm sure they might just find somebody who had a similar trajectory, like someone who did a lot of like film or TV work, and just like get them on board for Dragon Quest.
Someone who has that kind of range that they know what they're doing.
Not necessarily retiree, and not necessarily someone who's a kind of a racist asshole.
Yeah.
But, you know. Because I would think by now they would, or by now, I mean later they would take into consideration the worldwide opinion of Dragon Quest and the fans.
Yeah.
And people who really don't like Sugiyama.
Right.
After learning the stupid shit that he says and does.
We can let him go.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's time to promote from within. Like, who does the music for monsters or heroes or builders? I mean, that's not all Sugiyama, certainly.
No, probably some jackass from Toze.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, maybe not then. Because none of those soundtracks really struck me as amazing anyway.
No, Dragon Quest Monsters music is not good.
No, man.
I would say, dare I say, more annoying than 11.
Yeah, the battle theme, and I hate the fact that it's one of those battle themes where like they have to use it in every game because it's awful.
It is awful. Anyway, I guess we haven't ended on a high note as opposed to before.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but
all right.
You interrupted me. But story-wise, where do you think the sequel could go?
Oh, that's a great question.
What would you like to see?
I don't know. Honestly, what I'd like to see is I would like to see them not for DQ12, but I would like to see an offline DQ10. I would like to see them give it a different name.
Okay. I think you're just all right.
I
appreciate the sentiment. Yeah, but it's like a wishful thought that you've transplanted from FF11.
Yes, that's true. Oh, I would love to see it offline FF11.
Okay. Well, that's
as it is. Like sometimes when I go to bed, I'll just put on those YouTube videos that are hours long of people just walking through Vanadil.
What?
Have you seen those? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, man. Like Vanadil is one of the greatest game worlds I've ever had the pleasure of being in.
I'm Alex.
That's me. But story-wise for DQ12, I think it would be cool. It's probably unlikely because they just kind of did this with DQ3. But if they did a similar prequel story to DQ2, where you kind of find out who Malroth is and who the evil wizard Hargon is, and these are questions I don't really need the answers to. It's like what was Darth Vader like as a little kid? No one gives a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm not interested in their stories per se. I'm interested in what sort of possibilities that could open up for storytelling for the game in general.
They're doing that with Final Fantasy 15 now. There's a DLC episode about Arden.
Didn't their director just rage quit?
I think they rage quitted him, perhaps.
Oh no!
I don't know for sure.
Boy, I heard that he was leaving to start his own company.
They started a subsidiary studio with him in Square Enix.
Okay.
And then I guess they blew too much money. Square Enix was like, okay, fuck it. Chop 15 off of the legs. And
oh, dear.
You get out, I think. I don't know if they forced him out or not, but he wrote a letter that he had to display on a live stream and did not appear in person. So.
Oh, no. Okay.
and said he resigned on the 31st of October.
On
and
Halloween?
The live stream was last night.
Okay.
So, yeah. Yeah, on Halloween.
Well, that's fun.
Spooky Sunday for him.
Unemployment.
He'll be fine. I'm sure
Right.
he will start another company or join somebody or whatever.
Yeah.
Or he
Miss
could be the
Walker,
new
what are
Dragon
they
Quest
doing?
composer.
Or, yeah, wait a minute.
I
Is he a
don't think he
musician?
can play an instrument, but no. Well, hey, if Miyamoto can play the banjo. Hey, let's get him. Yeah, let's get him.
Yeah, let's get Miyamoto to do the music for Dragon Quest now.
Moonlight for Dragon Quest.
And make it all banjo.
No, wait, sorry. That's Super Mario USA. Let me try again. No, wait.
God damn it!
I just love it so much. Hold on, this one just came to me.
Sir,
That's Dragon Quest,
sir,
right?
that's athletic, sir.
That'd be a great battle theme, though. You gotta hire me.
Mr. Miyamoto?
I'll do it pro bono.
Sir, you need to move your car.
Okay. But I biked here.
You need to move your bike.
I like to keep fit.
Well, yeah. That's a great way to end this.
Now, if I find any YouTube videos of banjo Dragon Quest music, you can bet it's going in.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, yeah. Just stick it in between the segments with no explanation until the listeners get right here. And then they're like, oh, yeah, that explains that.
Well, we'll see what we can do.
All right.
We'll see what fate has in store for us.
All right.
I do wonder, though, if this does become a new Erdrick trilogy.
Yeah.
And we do get a couple more prequels before we reach Dragon Quest 3 again, and then
I feel like
who knows what.
I don't feel like it's going to be a new Erdrick trilogy simply because the plot of DQ1 is so bare bones and kind of basic ass that like there's not much they can do with it, and if they were to add stuff to it, it would be a totally different game.
Well, they don't have to remake one, but also like if it's barren, like that seems rife for adding stuff to it, which they kind of already did with Builders. They added, that was an interpretation.
I feel like Builders was the real like DQ1 homage title.
Well, yeah.
So who knows? So yeah, chronologically in the DQ series, after 3, 1 is supposed to happen. So yeah, folks, if they do go that route, I'm still okay with it. I mean, either way, it's DQ. As long as they have competent people at the helm, I'll be playing it.
Yeah, hot eats cool treats.
Thank you. We treat you right.
Well, and I guess with that, we should wrap this up. This has been a nice 2 hours of discussion on one game, which we haven't really done before on No More Whoppers.
That's right.
We just tackle all sorts of topics. But I think, our through line throughout the history of the show has been Dragon Quest. So it seems like a perfect time to jump into the latest, biggest Dragon Quest. So, Alex, thanks for indulging me on this, I guess.
Thanks for being a good sport anytime.
Hey, wait a minute.
What's
We're
up?
not done.
Oh.
Let's do our usual thing where we tell people
right.
where to go. NoMoreWhoppers.tumblr.com. Give us money. Blah, blah, blah. We're on
do
Twitter.
your thing
No More
there
Whoppers.
where you lie to everybody.
Yeah. No More Whoppers is good. We're on Twitter as No More Whoppers. Alex is on Twitter.
I am. I'm Patui. That's Pitohui. You can also follow the bar at Critical Hit Nag.
That's right. Critical Hit is back in action, but we can't talk about that on this show.
Yeah, I'm going to save that for the next Nomo, but yeah, things are good now. You can also follow the Critical Hit Overheard account at OOCCHQ.
And I'm on Twitter as RDBAAA.
Yes.
What else? That's about it. That's good. That's Dragon Quest 11.
Instagram is an app that
11.
people use. Dragon Quest 11.
Oh, yeah? Are we on Instagram, Alex?
No, we're not. I don't
okay. I see.
I don't understand. I still don't understand Instagram. I don't like Instagram. I begrudgingly have an account for the bar, and even that I update once a year.
It's just if you want to see people post photos in a way that's like annoying.
I know, but like, okay, didn't Twitter come before Instagram?
Yeah, well, yeah.
When people link to shit, when they link to Instagram shit on Twitter, it's just a URL. when you post a photo on Twitter, you get to see the fucking photo without clicking anything.
Yeah. Well, Twitter used to show the photo when you click it, but now they got rid of that.
Yeah, right. Oh, really?
So I think, yeah. So people who link their Instagram to Twitter are dumb and shouldn't do that.
It's not ideal.
Because now it's just a text URL.
Yeah, and I'm not tapping on that.
Yeah, no.
But I don't understand the difference between Instagram and Twitter in terms of functionality. Like Instagram lets you post photos and comment on them.
It's just the intent. Like Instagram is photo focused, and maybe you can write a little blog under it or whatever the hell you want. Twitter is text focused and focused on bullshit that you're thinking at the moment. Maybe you can add a picture, that kind of thing.
I prefer tweeters.
By the way, if I was referring to any one of our friends who just posts text links to Instagram, I don't think you're actually dumb.
No.
But shape up. Well, Alex.
Hi.
Again, thank you. And thank you for being a good sport, I guess.
Anytime.
Let's just say, may the...
I already don't like where this is going.
Nah. May the dark spawn be with you. I don't know.
May the horse be with you?
Oh.
Because you ride a horse?
I vote nay to that.
Destiny.
See, why aren't I localizing Dragon Quest games?
You are now.
By the way, this game had no instance of I'm asking you in it.
Oh, yeah, what the fuck?
We've been campaigning badly for years now.
Yeah.
To get that in a Dragon Quest game.
That's very disappointing.
No.
Wait, where did I just see that recently?
Your dreams?
No. I've seen it in 2 games so far. Well, we saw our good buddy.
Someone says it in Octopath Traveler.
That's right.
Someone
it's an
says
Octopath.
I'm asking ye.
Yeah. It's not a sure thing that it's an Omo homage when the literal way to translate the word Tanomu is to request or ask for. So I think I'm getting a little full of myself. Also, our buddy Chris Fox put it in Plants vs. Zombies 2, I think.
That one's obvious because I was admitted.
That's right.
So that is a real one.
Right.
But, unless they make Dragon Quest Plants vs. Zombies, I don't think
I'd play it.
There's much hope.
But yeah, if anybody's making a game and you want to stick some dialogue in there, that's a good one.
Well, I'm making a game, but I'm not putting that in there.
Blatuti or 2H?
No, it's Patui.
Oh.
That's how it's pronounced.
P-I, the number 2, and then I?
Well, that's a show, everybody. Join us next time when we talk about...
Final Fantasy 6?
No, good night. Skullgon, take me away.